Charlie.
Sorry.
With the retargeting in the middle of the funnel,
Yeah.
obviously it's like a B2B video show and like a testimony.
Great question. So you're going to ask what to put there?
For like fitness.
Yeah. So what I would do, I would literally even have, like, we've got loads of photos on fitness, was like clients with like, they hold their trousers like that, they've lost loads of weight, and then like, here's how John lost 15 inches off his weight, just as like an image. You could have someone holding like a text thing, like, just think, how can I do this without having like a before and after photos? Like, there's a lot of things you can do, visual representation, or even like, I don't know, say Mez and Rach work in a wedding niche, right? Here's a photo of somebody on their wedding day, and here's how Marie lost 10 kilos for a wedding. Like, just use something that's almost the thing that people want at the end, but it's not a direct before and after. Or if you've got permission for, maybe you work with parents, you could ask, like, say someone had an awesome photo of them playing football with their kid or something. Like, here's a photo of Harry and his son playing football. He couldn't do this 6 months ago. This is how we did it.
So it's just the image and some compelling copy.
Yeah.
But just nothing.
You could add video retargeting to that, but I personally think graphics work better. And what you want to do is you want to make it look like an organic post, because essentially what we're doing with, let's go back. What we're doing with these funnels is we're like manipulating this whole thing. So we're trying to show the exact thing at the right point of time to the person. So someone's come through, they've watched a couple of reels, they're already starting to like your stuff, they're problem aware, they know you've got a solution, and then they keep seeing in their feed all these people you're helping, and they're like, well, this Harry guy is changing everyone's life. It's like, well, it's 2025 soon. It's like, I've been saying I'm gonna get in shape for the last 5 years, and then he'll see something that will trigger him, and they'll be like, oh, he'll message you. And what I would also do, so is having the tracking down on that, I would send those retargeting as direct to a book a call link, not to DM message, because they're warm. So like, I would send them straight to the call rather than to a DM, and like, not even a complicated funnel, literally just like Calendly embedded landing page, so you can track basically the URL. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, cheers.
Is any other questions on that? Because that's probably good.
Just before we jump in with the next question as well, in terms of the automation and things like that, one of the most important things to look at, instead of how to automate things, is how to track things. So using things like tags, a lot of people who opt in on a Black Friday offer might not actually take action until January. Exactly as Jared said, right? People are going to spend money through other websites, other platforms. Generally, a lot of people put till January for their fitness. So anyone who you are pitching a Black Friday offer to, make sure that whether you're using Go High Level, whether you're using Meta Business Suite, you actually have the tags in place for this, so you can do a follow-up sequence. A lot of sales will come from follow-up sequences.
I can tell you statistically our buying period is 32 days on average from a lead coming through to then converting. So like, buying cycles are getting a lot longer, and we have like nailed in ad tracking software for that. Simon?
How are you distributing the ad spend through the...
So what I would do is probably spend 70% at the top of the funnel, and then just retarget each layer and break it down off of that. The bottom end of the funnel, you don't need huge amounts of spend. So like the direct, very bottom most aware would be like really direct CTAs, like videos calling people out. And then I would retarget like solution aware to product aware with like the social proof. So those people have already seen a few reels, and I put the top ones all in like a CBO campaign and just let them spend.
Would you say send a long-form content?
Yeah, so like ideally on the top videos, what we would try and do is try and create something where you're giving them maybe a lead magnet that maybe is like, you know, we mentioned today about like YouTube videos. You start to pull them into, like, the way I think about marketing now is a spider web effect, because people can have multiple touch points. So you just want to pull someone in and they want to get stuck, and then they're on their email list, they then start watching your YouTube videos, they listen to podcasts. Like, you're trying to come around them at all angles. So like, if they're watching you on all platforms, then they're also getting the retargeting ads. Like, who are they going to go to when they want to get the end result, which we know they want the result, if they're already coming through to the bottom end of the funnel because they're already watching stuff about how to solve the problem. So they're not going to be watching over 50% of a reel in terms of how to lose body fat if they don't need to lose body fat. So we're hitting a super warm audience. What's that, sorry?
Can you retarget what people have watched a certain percentage of a YouTube video?
You can on YouTube, you can't on Facebook. So you can't across platforms. So YouTube for fitness ads, I find doesn't convert well. Ryan's probably going to tell me the opposite. Different offers. and it has probably better targeting to some respect, but on Facebook you can't. But you can retarget the percent watch time on the reels, and the type of person who's on Facebook, Instagram tends to be very different than demographic maybe on YouTube. Keen?
Is there a certain like time frame that we're waiting for to go to the next stage of that retarget, or is there a certain metric?
Literally, what we're looking for is watch time of the reel. So like once they've watched over 50% of the reel, or 75, depending on what you choose, you then want to target them with the next layer, then the next layer.
That's the metric.
Yeah, and then like you would not have one video saying problem aware, solution aware. You'd have like bunches of those, and just keep pushing that in front of them. Because basically, what we're doing, try not to think about this as paid ads. We're trying to manipulate organic content essentially in front of people at the right part of the process to pull them through. I know it seems a little bit complicated, but when you think about it, you're like, this is really fucking smart, and it works phenomenally well.
Yeah, and then the final stage, so the middle stage is solution aware and social proof. The final stage is CTA or to
Yeah. Shane?
You know how you have the blog post that goes to cold audience, so and then you have the boost reels. So would you then maybe so you're saying to retarget even that blog post as well now to those who actually watch your reels?
I would try this as a completely different ad strategy. So if you think how a lot of us now are running reels top of funnel to get followers, we're basically doing that trying to get the followers, but then actually doing with something with people further down the line. So like a lot, like I think Simon, you said, I don't know how many people you bring a day, like loads of people to your account, right? But at the moment, you're not doing anything with them specifically after that. Is how do we pull people through each step? And we're almost like filtering out layers of the right people, because if they're not watching the problem aware and solution aware videos, they're not really going to respond to the CTA. It's highly unlikely. But if they've watched 5 videos of the solution aware and they've watched half of them, they're probably pretty aware in terms of, okay, who Simon is, what he does, and he actually knows the things to solve their problems. So they're going to be very hot prospects.
Okay. Would you keep maybe like the creatives the same, but just use different keywords? We can actually test between the two as well.
Sorry, I didn't hear that one.
Would you just test between like the two using different keywords, and so we want that's been retargeted?
Yeah, I would use different keywords and try and be specific on the tracking with that. We've also built out using Hyros UTM tracking code, so we can track specific words longer term. But one of the reasons why a lot of the CTAs we would send, say like retargeting social proof direct to a call booking page, is it's very easy to track that person specifically came from here. So okay, cool, that person came out of that system. Actually?
Am I right in saying that can you track anybody that's watched over, say, 50% of a reel and then retarget them directly?
Yeah, that's literally what we do. So like, say for example, I make a reel at the top, I think I've got an example here. So say at the top, I'm going to put something broad out as the first video. This person's unaware they have a problem. They watch 50% of that video. I'm then going to retarget them with a problem aware video. Say they've watched 2 to 3 of the problem aware videos. I'm then going to, I'll retarget people who watched over half of that with a solution aware one. The product aware one, I then retarget with half. And like you just start to pull people through.
Is how to do that on the school?
Not yet. I've only made this like 3-4 weeks ago. And I've been trying to hold back talking about it, so I get excited. Which is why I mentioned it in passing accidentally to Nathan, who's already done some of it. This is why I left a lot of time, so I thought we'd have a lot of questions.
Charlie, have you tested like the different proportions of when you're retargeting with people now who know you, the amount to which they like and trust you? So what we're going in with a little bit more of?
The buyer awareness of who you are is going to be way higher. They're going to be way less skeptical. There's not a metric are going to be like our ROAS is 5 to 1, like you can't, our trust score is 5 to 1 or whatever, but 100% they will know who you are, and it's way easier than if you've run a direct SMS ad and like, yeah, I just saw your ad, Millie, I don't really know much about you. It's very different than they've watched 10 reels already. They probably scrolled through your other stuff. If they message in for a lead magnet, maybe on an email list, they've seen your podcast, like you're pulling them through a lot of different stuff, which is ideally what we want people to do, is absorb as many different things as possible. Long form content's brilliant for that. Like you don't have to get tens of thousands of views. Like if you can get 100 views of the right people, that can be a lot of money for you on the back end.
Okay, so say for example, there's maybe like 2 to 3 retarget reels that
Yeah.
go out that they then feed into get this training, but it sends into a YouTube video. Get this training, but it sends into a podcast.
Yeah, so I'll give you a good example.
With like the social proof.
Yeah, so like The middle chunk is where you want to be pushing social proof in front of them. And the goal of that, like, we don't really care if that makes money directly, because you know, if you're pushing client results in front of people who have a problem losing weight, they're going to be much more inclined to buy from you. So you don't have a lot to spend on that. You put like £5-10 a day. It's actually pretty low in terms of the budgets. You put most of your budget at the top at the start to pull people through. And a lot of you guys are doing that already in terms of just boosting to get new followers, but there's no strategy specifically other than messaging them of what to do after that point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just wondering what's going to matter more is the results of building that trust.
The reels and them consuming the content will get the trust, and the results will give the certainty. Because like, if you're like, okay, I like this person, I resonate, I like their energy, the way they communicate, and I keep seeing like another person, oh, that person's like me, they'll start to buy in way, way more. They have the trust, but then also the certainty you can help them get what they want. Ben?
If you're making content and putting the call to action at the end of your target people that watch 50%, then you get to actually move the call to action further to get more.
Not, you could do, but I think some people would drop off at that point anyway. Because like, if something seems like addy, people are like off. Because it's so easy, people will scroll through it. You almost want people to watch it to the end because they're going to be the warmest. There's no reason you can't try that. Like from content to get followers, one of the best things you can do is like say follow towards the start of the reel. Like I gave an example in terms of here's how to eat dessert to lose weight. My name's Charlie Johnson, I've done XYZ, follow for more fat loss tips. This is why I eat cheesecake on Saturday night because it helps me do XYZ. You can play around with that, but it's just testing it.
I've ran paid ads before, but quite unsuccessfully. I've never got a good ads. Do you recommend learning how to do that yourself? I've always paid someone to do it.
Great question. I actually spoke about that Ryan today. My opinion, the biggest mistake people make is trying to hire paid ads agencies. And if you like think about this in like really basic terms, if someone's really good at running paid ads, they would just run ads for their own business and sell stuff. Like in real basic, like why don't you give me 5K a month? I'll just sell stuff that's 10K a month to run ads, right? So to make any sense. I've never, Ryan obviously does well, but outside that, I don't really see anyone killing it who's used agencies. And also the problem that happens if you use an agency, they will almost bamboozle you with numbers that you don't really understand and they make it sound good. Ryan, you're here somewhere, aren't you? And you will testify to that, right? What's that?
I can chime in if you want.
Yeah. Aiden, give Ryan. Like, the big thing with the ads thing is like the most important thing for everyone in this room is this mindset, like JP said, but it's also skill. So you know if someone's bullshitting you on something, and you also know what good looks like, you know how to do everything, and if there's a problem, you can fix it very quickly. Because even if you have the best media buyer in the world, they make mistakes sometimes. And I would say we've probably tried 4 or 5 ads agencies, never worked. Like, it's done okay, but you know your audience better than anyone else. You also care more than anyone else, and there's also your credit card on file that's getting like hammered on your Amex, right?
Yeah, so essentially, like, if you don't know how to run them yourself, you're just going to wind up getting screwed by some sort of company. So, like, especially the more money they know that you can make, it gets even worse. So, like, I've had really good ad agencies that I paid like $4,000 a month, and I've had ad agencies that I paid like $35,000 a month. And there was literally no difference between the two of them. It's just genuinely, it was just like, it was just my understanding of how much I knew about ads. Because they would get on every time and be like, oh, here's your CAC, here's your LTV, all these different things, and you'd be like, oh man, this looks amazing. But then they're tracking it on a completely different like kind of software, this, that, like, there's nothing you can do better than learn how to do the ads yourself, for sure. And I also think the messaging is almost always fucked. Like, they might make a really good graphic or a really nice video, but the messaging, like, they're gonna say something that's gonna genuinely make you, like, your skin crawl.
You'll die inside.
Yeah.
So one more question I have, if you've never ran paid ads yourself, it's not a big dumb question, but where do you recommend learning how to do that?
So that's one of the big things we teach. So I've personally spent over 1.5 million on Facebook ads. Aiden is a wizard at ads. We help, like, a lot of people in this room testify, like, who has made money from us helping you with the Facebook ads? Like, Aaliyah made a load of money, like pretty much everyone, right? So, like, we know how to do that. I've done a lot in our own fitness business. Aiden helps a lot with the clients in terms of that side. And it's actually way simpler than you think. And ads agencies like Ryan talking will try and like confuse you, talking about like complicated stuff that doesn't really matter. but it's actually fairly basic, and you've got a great audience, so it's relatively easy.
Now, if you enjoyed the clip, the huge thing that's happening right now is the AI revolution. This actual video and clip was fully clipped and posted by AI. No human being was involved. And this is exactly how you scale your business faster than ever before, is you use these types of tools. Yet most people are oblivious to them and don't even know how to do this. And if you're a business owner, a content creator, or a coach, and you want help in terms of how to scale your business using AI, ads, and all the latest technology that's going to give you an unfair advantage, hit the link at the bottom of this video. You can book in a call with us and the team. We will audit your whole business, show you exactly how we can install some of these systems for you. And if we think you're a good fit, we can show you what that looks like.